So we get up this morning and right in our camp here we've got a whole bunch of horses. There's a lot of access points here to the Dutton. We came in on the south end down by Bryce Canyon Airport. There are several access points from there all the way over to Penguich that you can access into. We're excited to get up into the tops of the mountains. These peaks are really unique here in Utah. You know, for the most part in southern Utah, there's a lot of plateaus, a lot of the red and orange cliffs. But for some reason, the Dutton here has got its own unique landscapes. A lot of real estate that has no access other than, you know, hiking, horseback. But we're gonna show you all we can from the trail standpoint because there's still a lot of roads up here. Supposedly some cool formation out here that we have to hike to and not ride to. And she said she found it, what she was looking for. Another cool formation. We are here We came to look at that because in southern Utah, they're around every corner. So I wanted to show you this tree rub, and if you pay attention when you're up here, you can find these. This is a limited draw mountain for elk, so they do manage it for bigger bowls. But if you look at this tree right here, this is a good example of a good tree rub, and it goes all the way up to here, so you know that it's a good elk. If it was a deer, it would be a lot lower just because of the size of the animal. So this one is relatively fresh. You know, the sap is still, you know, fresh coming off from it. I'm kind of looking to see if there's any velvet, but a lot of times the velvet will fall off early and the rodents will get to it, but the elk will also hit these really hard, you know, during the rut or pre-rut. And keep an eye out. These are really kind of cool. If you're driving by or out hiking and you see these, look for how fresh they are, because it's can kind of tell you what's in the area. As you know, we like to go up a lot of these side trails or spur trails, and a lot of these on the Dutton come to trailheads. I'd mentioned before there's a lot of trails, hiking trails, horse trails here on the Dutton, and they do a really good job maintaining them. They've got a lot of good markers for them. So like I said, if you're not into wheelers or Jeeps or off-road stuff, or even if you're into that and you like hiking too, these are some great opportunities to see a lot of great country up here. You know, you could pack a mountain bike up here and take off on one of these trailheads and probably never see a soul. Not that they get a lot of usage during the hunting season. The hunters will use them a lot, but other than that, I don't think they get used a whole lot. So a lot of opportunity on this mountain for outdoor activity, not just, you know, off-roading, but for hiking, horseback riding, mountain biking. You know, we're up here several miles even to get to this trailhead.
Hey, happy boy.
This next part might be a little graphic for some of you. Those of you that are in love with rodents and mice, you may want to just fast forward a little bit here, okay? Duke that's with his kill. And it looks like it's also lunch. I don't know, I guess that's gonna come out in the end of one of these times. A lot of ponderosa pines on this side of the mountain as well, kind of interspersed with all the red rock and white rock, so it's kind of beautiful. But anyway, so we've been exploring the west side of the Dutton today. We're in the lower country right now, but we were higher earlier today and we plan on getting higher later this afternoon, so let's keep going. the downsides of camping near Bryce Canyon, which we're 15, 20 miles north, is that they do a lot of tours, so there's a lot of tourism here, but where we're camping has a pretty good area to turn around, and so I guess they figured this would be the spot to do it. But as you can see, we got a bunch of cowboys and cowgirls here ready to go. But they didn't park too far away from us. They're pretty much right in camp, and it's pretty much because they've probably been doing this for years. So nothing against them, not a big deal. Love the horses, but they base out of here and they go for an all-day ride. So we've got people happening right here in camp. So we're gonna get ready here in just a few minutes and head up on the Wheeler and head up on the mountains. So we're going for another day on the Dutton. Up here on the Dutton, one of the things you're obviously going to see is kind of what you can see behind me. It's a lot of beautiful aspen trees, but also a lot of deadfall, if you can see that behind me. Back in 2002, there was a big fire, but the fire wasn't supposed to be big. It was actually a controlled burn that got out of hand. Totally not in favor of the controlled burns, because a lot of times they do get out of hand. The reason that I'm not really for the burns, whether it's natural or lightning strike or whatever else, is they leave an incredible amount of deadfall, which is really hard for animals, wildlife, even cows, doesn't matter, to get through. But as you can also see, the aspen trees they're almost like weeds. They grow to the point where you can't walk through them. Wildlife really struggles getting through them. They're beautiful, they're beautiful, especially in the fall. We're going to show you a lot of these fall colored leaves, but when you have a fire like this, the pines will burn. So Mount Dutton, this Dutton area had a lot of pines, and it's being replaced by aspen trees. It takes a very long time for the pines to come back. There are some things that are beneficial in certain burns because they'll actually create some places for feed. For the most part, it leaves just a disgraced mountain. It's been 20 years since this fire, and you're going to see that it's nothing but aspen thickets. And sometimes these aspens get so thick that they literally have to plow the road to keep the road from being taken over by the aspen trees. It had a lot of, pine trees, but now you have a lot of aspen trees and a lot of dead standing pine trees. And, people think that it's good, for these fires to burn or these forests to burn. But it's not my kids and grandkids that are going to enjoy it. It's my great-greats that might enjoy it. And that's if we don't have another controlled burn or another, lightning strike. A lot of times they'll think that, a controlled burn will burn all the junk off the forest floor, but it does the opposite. It skips through all the trees, leaves, dead standing trees, then they fall over. And so then you end up with like Lincoln logs all stacked all over the place. So anyway, there's my little stint on controlled burns and wildfires. Smells wonderful out here because of the distant rain. We've had a few sprinkles, a few drops here and there, but not too much. Duke, let's tell everybody that you're a little nervous when it comes to thunder. Lightning not so bad, but that thunder really makes him a little nervous. So he usually heads for cover. He'll come between our legs. He'll do whatever it takes to get away from the thunder. And I know a lot of dogs are that way.
It's calling me.
Last time we came up here, we saw some Rocky Mountain goats, so we're hoping to look for some of those again, try to find some. The elk hunter's going on right now, so we've ran into a few elk hunters, but we saw a good bull not too long ago with some cows, so it's a fun time of the year to be up here. The fall is, God, I wish fall lasted longer because it's just, to me, it's the best time of the year. I love the fall, but it just gets over with so quickly. But hey, it's all right. We love it while we can. We're up here on the north end of the Dutton now, and it is just a perfect, beautiful day. The trees, the colors are just staggering, and I know I probably overstate the words of amazing, beautiful, staggering up here, but sometimes I just don't know what else to say because it is that beautiful. You know, sometimes when you're up on the mountain, it's just perfect, and today is one of those. Today is one of those perfect fall days where the trees, the colors in the trees, the weather, the temperature, everything is just perfect. We're up on the northern end of the Dutton right now, and it's just, if it could stay like this all year, I'd be very happy. It's just perfect. It's beautiful.